Luke 10:41. This statement was made by Jesus to Martha. And it could also be made to you and me at some point in our life this year. You are worried and troubled about many things. One of the things that sometimes we are so worried and so troubled, the overloads that we carry. Sometimes we are overloaded with commitments. We have committed ourselves to go here and go there, and to take part in this activity, in these clubs, in these associations, in this committee, and this social function, and we don't even have time for ourselves and our family. As a result, we soon begin to be meeting ourselves, coming and going, because we have been overloading ourselves in the areas of commitments. I think we need to be discreet in whatever that we commit. There are many 1,001 things that we can do, but we cannot do 1,001 things at the same time. We have to be discreet, right, in making commitments, right? Don't be like Martha, right? Sometimes we are also overloaded with possessions, right? Our closets are full, right? Our garages are overflowing, okay? And we go into debts in paying for it, right? And then we found that those things that we simply must have, okay, will not even use for the whole year. Sometimes we are overloaded in the area of work, right? We get up early, we fight the traffic, okay? We experience intolerable working conditions because we have to do it, okay? Because we have to pay the bills, right? For the possessions that we accumulated. Sometimes we are overloaded with information, okay? This writer, a doctor, who says he has to read 220 articles a month just to keep up with the changes in his profession, right? Now that was information overload, right? But the problem is he can't absorb it all. It's all out there for us, but we just can't do it. So we are overloaded in this area. Yes, we can go on and on, but you get the picture. Okay? There's so many demands on us, so many good things that need to be done. But they are just 8,760 hours in this year. And we already used 48 hours of them. So we need to make the most of every opportunity. What Paul is telling us, Apostle Paul is telling us that, yeah, you are presented with an area of choices, but you have to make the most of every opportunity. Which means to say, wisdom must come in. Wisdom must come in the discretion of your choosing. Okay? Example of Mary and Martha, but Mary made the right choice. Just one thing she chose, right? Yes. How do we do that? How do we do that? It's by understanding what the Lord's will is. Understanding. Which means we need to do some prayers, we need to do some meditations, we need to have quiet time with God and really understand what the Lord's will for you. At least for this year. Now, what do you think God's will is for you this new year? Do you think He wants your mind to be so saturated with worries and anxieties that you can't think spiritual thoughts? Do you think He wants your calendar so crowded that you don't have time for the important things, the things eternal? What do you think God's will for you in this new year? That's between you and me. And you have to make time really by yourselves, even away from your family, just you and God. and really communicate with God and understand what the Lord's will is for you. But here is a couple of suggestions, right? First and foremost, okay, as we learn from the scripture text, okay, is pointing to us that, hey, we need to establish priorities, right? Priorities. Just like the story of Mary and Martha, which is more important? Physical food or spiritual food? Martha chose the physical food, making a meal in the kitchen. But Mary chose the spiritual food. She sat down at the feet of Jesus and she listened to every word that proceeded from the mouth of Jesus. Yes, when we establish priorities, this is a good question to ask. Who or what is most important in my life? A good way to have a good answer is actually to have the right question. The right question, who or what is most important in my life? Because this will determine the effect. We talk about the law of cause and effect. We talk about sowing and reaping. Whatever that we decide will determine, right, will affect your future decisions, your scheduling, your relationship with others, and your whole outlook of life. Just because you make one decision, it affects everything. Right? So I hope that your answer would be something along this similar line. Who or what is most important in your life? I would hope you have something like this. That my relationship with God through Jesus Christ is most important to me. If that is your priority, then, as we have discussed earlier, you will affect your decisions, you will affect your scheduling, you will affect your relationship with others, and your whole outlook of life. But is that your decision, your priorities? Because when this is your priority, when my relationship with God through Jesus Christ is most important to me, this will affect your walk in this year 2010 and the years to come. When this is your priority, then comes Sunday. Every Sunday, rain or shine, whether there is an exhibition in town or anything, that will not interfere with your presence in church. Because He comes first in my life. We will worship the Lord and nothing will interfere with God. I'm very encouraged to see you this morning in the assembly, because this is what we are supposed to do. Every Sunday, we come here to example, to encourage one another, to provoke another in good deeds, to worship the Lord in spirit and in truth. Even in our troubles, okay? Even in our troubles, we need to schedule, okay, time to be the saints in that particular place. Acts 20 verse 7 tells us that Paul and Silas tarried in Troas, right? Just so to break the bread and to worship with the saints over there. Right? The last 2 weeks, okay, my family and I were down south. So the first Sunday, we scheduled to worship with the saints in Adelaide, the church in Adelaide. The second Sunday, we schedule our time. Of course, there are a lot of tourist attractions, but we put our priorities to worship the saints at the Church of Christ in Melbourne. Right? And we took a long time to go there. In fact, in Melbourne, we also met Victor Moon. He brought his girlfriend along. He also took a tram, traveled 45 minutes just to be worshiping the saints in Melbourne. And that was very encouraging of Victor Ng, right? Of course, we encourage one another. And when we were in the Church of Christ in Adelaide, we received good reports